It's very funny to me when a woman hires me and the first thing she says is she wants more freedom and she wants more pleasure. She wants to be embodied in her feminine. She wants to really become the best version of herself. Because without fucking fail, in the first month, it is the most tumultuous. It is the most chaos. The most shit happens in that very first month. And after seeing this hundreds of times, I now see the pattern. Chaos. The women love the chaos. If you're someone that, wants all these beautiful, wonderful things, but creates a lot of chaos in the process of trying to get that, stick around. It is your identity that is addicted to chaos. So this might sound counterintuitive, but chaos might be your comfort zone. Hello, you're listening to Healing with Kink. I'm Karina, a psychotherapist, a coach, feminine embodiment guide. I blend everything I know about psychology, sexuality, kink, spirituality, and basically everything that makes us our most authentic selves. If you haven't already, hit the subscribe button so you don't miss an episode. Let's play. If you've lived most of your life in a constant doing, whether that was remaining super busy at work, having a really chaotic upbringing because mom and dad weren't super stable, so you always had to be hyper vigilant, or maybe you've manifested a lot of drama in relationships where the person you're dating is like hot and cold and you just like never know what to expect from them, then chaos becomes home. It becomes what you know. So when you start moving towards more pleasure, more freedom, more fun, like the things that you actually want, creating more wealth in your life, every cell in your body freaks the fuck out because it's like, this is not normal. We know chaos. We know chaos. We don't know presence. We don't know peace. We don't know what that is. It's unknown and therefore we don't want to touch it. You resolve back to chaos. If you've been on this podcast for a while, you've probably heard this before, but our nervous systems are not wired for thriving. They're wired for survival. So your nervous system is wired to keep you safe. And if presence and pleasure and peace isn't safe yet because it doesn't know it yet, then it's not going to orient towards that. It's going to sabotage the fuck out of it. So if dysregulation and chaos and unknown is your baseline, then regulation might actually feel really fucking boring. And that's why a lot of women can't sit in presence. So if you're someone that feels quite chaotic quite often, your work is about doing less. And your work is about acknowledging that the chaos is there. I have multiple practices that I teach about this. Existential kink is one of them. If you're a woman and you're interested in going into that, I have a free membership where I have a pre-recorded practice specifically about existential kink. And this helps you see all of the ways that what you're manifesting, even if you say you don't want it, you've manifested it for a reason, and this practice helps you understand why and gain acceptance over it. Because the more acceptance we bring towards the fact that we are oriented towards chaos or dysregulation, the less of a grip it has on us. So let's bring this into masculine and feminine energy because it's totally related. So the feminine is energy, moving, constantly moving, right? This is the feminine, life itself. The masculine is consciousness, holding, awareness. Experience doesn't happen without awareness. So these are like two sides of the same coin. They need each other. So the feminine, since she is this flowing force, it is actually insatiable. I often hear my clients say that they want more. They want more money. They want better sex. They want a more abundant life. They want more freedom, more happiness, right? They want more. The feminine is oriented for more. She is literally insatiable. There's no limit. And I've had clients question and they're like, is it okay to want more? Is it okay to desire? And the answer is fucking yes. 10x your desire. Because in the more that we desire, the more we open up our space to actually receive. But in the closing of that desire, in the negating of that desire, we're not actually open to receiving the thing. This actually shows up sexually because a woman does not have a limit on the amount of orgasms she can have. It is fucking limitless. Whereas men, typically just a few times, if they're lucky, a few times, and then they usually tap out unless they practice semen retention. Whole other story, maybe another episode. Men, if you're curious about that, comment below. But the female, like there's so many ways that that God, goddess, universe, consciousness makes it evident to us that the feminine is oriented for more, limitless. Infinite, truly fucking infinite. And frankly, that is why we are so powerful as women, because we have an infinite possibility of creation, of feeling. And if we don't know how to channel all of this bigness, this vastness that's available to us, then we just kind of lose our shit because we don't know how to channel it. We don't know how to wield this power. So we just like create a concoction. Have you ever seen a baby elephant? If I find a video, I'll try to put one up here. But baby elephants don't know how to control their trunks, so it's just like flopping around and doing all these things because they don't know how to control the trunk yet. So similarly, if you don't know how to contain this feminine bigness, you're gonna feel quite chaotic and you're gonna create quite a bit of chaos in your life. The feminine has such a big range, right? So inevitably, when we tap into emotions of anger, sadness, anything negative that we don't like to feel, we create chaos around it. We start to dwell in it. We're like, why the fuck am I feeling this? Spiral, 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 spiral. Into the abyss we go with that negative thing. But if we learn how to contain, chaos doesn't really play a role in our lives anymore. Or another way of looking at this is consciously bringing chaos into your life. I personally have a practice that I do regularly where I play a song that's really fucking chaotic and I go ham in that song. I start saying random words and random sounds rather. I'm like speaking another language. I'm moving my body in chaotic ways, kind of just going fucking crazy and channeling the chaos. If we don't intentionally move energy, we're going to unconsciously bring it into our lives. This idea of like having so much power as women is not new at all. In the Hindu tradition, we have goddess Kali, the goddess of destruction. I mean, look at her. She looks like she's literally the embodiment of death and chaos itself. She's known to be the goddess that slays the egoic beliefs that no longer serve. And I'm showing you these examples just to show that, again, we know in ourselves that the feminine isn't just this like light, playful little thing. Like the feminine is big and wild and chaotic. So it's a part of our energetic signature. So when you feel chaotic, don't fucking judge that. Be like, oh yeah, it's just part of being a feminine being. And how do I consciously work with this? How do I not shame it so I can work with it, not against it? When we work with the energy of chaos, it's just an energy. An energy cannot be destroyed, only transformed. So if we work with this energy and transform it into something else, into life force, into creativity, you become a lot more powerful. This is the art of emotional alchemy. Becoming the alchemist of your emotions. My fucking God, if only this was taught in schools. But guess what? I teach it. So if you're curious and you want to start to become more of an alchemist of your life, head into the show notes to check out my memberships or my one-on-one offerings. This work is deep and it will change the way that you live your life. It'll change the way you lead in your business, in your relationships, in your sex life when you become the alchemist of your actual emotion. I have like a buffet of practices that I do in order to channel my chaos, in order to become an emotional alchemist. And if you don't have any, you need one. The people around you will thank you because you won't be spitting your shit out and projecting. You'll have channeled what's alive for you so that you can show up full and alive in the world. So, my lovely people, I would love for you to sit with, in what ways am I unconsciously creating chaos in my life? And maybe that's at work, maybe it's with your kids, with your partner. In what ways are you unconsciously creating chaos? And I also want you to get super clear on, where did this come from? What was my upbringing that led to this? What were all the ways that chaos was actually normal for me? That I normalized it so much so that now I'm continuing to create that in my life because it was normal before. And once you have all of that written down, I invite you to go into, how can I channel this? How can I work with this energy so that it's not working against me? Because I promise you, you're just working twice as hard if you're working against it, because it's gonna be there regardless. Again, it's going to be there regardless. If you're very attuned to the feminine frequency, whether you're male or female, regardless of your gender, if you have a very strong feminine frequency, a very strong energetic signature of the feminine, you're gonna feel this chaos. It's gonna be a thing. So how are you working with it? Thank you so much for listening. If this resonated, hit like, hit subscribe. I do this all for free because I fucking love it. Your support truly means the world. It helps grow the show. And if you're feeling generous, post it on your story and tag me. I would love to repost. If you want to go even deeper, head into the show notes, check out my free membership, my one-on-one services. The work does not need to end here. It's truly just the beginning.